Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us this evening. Please feel free to chat in and let us know where you're logging in from and say hello. Especially if you're brand new, maybe you've never been on one of our Zooms or our Facebook Lives before. We'd love to hear from you. And I'm just going to make sure that I've got some of our settings are working properly here and we're good to go. So you can now use the chat, which is excellent if you're on Zoom. And feel free to comment on Facebook. All right, there we go. Our first chat from our special guest, Dr. Tamara. So we're excited to have her join us tonight on TLS weight loss, our page here on Facebook, but we're also here on Zoom. So we just want to say welcome to everyone. We're so glad you're here. And without further ado, let's get started. So as many of you know, my name is Melanie Nelson. I'm director of TLS. I've been in the health industry since 2000. I spent some time working with professional athletes. I speak all over the world. And I just love what we offer here with TLS and our health and nutrition products. We're changing lives all over the world. It's so amazing. And with us is Dr. Tamara Weinstein, who is our Director of Sales and Continued Education for Health and Nutrition. She's a doctor of physical therapy and board certified clinical nutritionist, president of Action Physical Therapy and Wellness, also clinical faculty at New York Medical College, and certified trainer and field product specialist. So we've got ourselves an expert guest here tonight. We're so happy to have you.
So happy to be here. Thanks so much for inviting me, Melanie. As you know, I am a huge advocate of TLS and living the TLS lifestyle. And I've been working with this company and specifically this division of the company for many, many years. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely our pleasure. So before we get into the nitty gritty of tonight, we just have a disclaimer for you to take a look at and read and just understand that we are not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease here tonight. And definitely before starting any weight management product or exercise program, consult your healthcare provider. So as many of you know, TLS is Transitions Lifestyle System, and it is our incredible solution to finding your healthy weight and maintaining it. And that's certainly my personal story with TLS. It combines 4 components. There's a lot of programs, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of fads, there's a lot of pills, there's a lot of you know what out there. And a lot of them have one of our components. Some of them have 2. A very, very few have 3, and none have all 4. That's part of what makes us so special and the most comprehensive program you'll find, with low glycemic impact eating, improving body composition through fitness and exercise, and science-based supplementation to accelerate the results of the efforts we're putting in, and education so that you understand why you're doing what you're doing. Because when you do, guess what? You're more likely to maintain that healthy lifestyle and not have that yo-yo effect. One of the things that makes us pretty awesome is that we have lots of free resources, right, Dr. T? It is amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, what we give away. Oh, love it. So we have our journal, our 12-week health guide to really help you change your lifestyle. So this is really the holy grail, so to say, of TLS. Our menu plans, our recipe booklets, our website, and you can take a free quiz. It takes about 3 minutes for you to find your personalized solution within TLS, because you are all unique snowflakes, and we don't all need to be on the same product, same program, doing the same things, right? We need to adjust to our goals, our preferences, and what works for us. And that's what we do here with TLS. So definitely, if you have not already taken the TLS weight loss and lifestyle profile on our website. Again, it takes 3 minutes. You get a customized results page with the products that would be a great fit for you, the menu plan, and all the free downloads. So look at the whole page, because there's all kinds of goodies there. We are not a diet, right? Because diets don't work long term. And I always tell people, I'm letting you off the hook. You didn't fail at dieting, they failed you. And I tried many things prior to finding the TLS lifestyle and utilizing the components of this program. And with many diets, you lose water, muscle, sometimes even bone density, and not fat. So yes, the scale is dropping, but you're losing the wrong kind of weight. You're losing the healthy weight. You're losing the weight you want to keep. And so we really need to shift that priority in regards to the scale. All calories are not created equal. So calorie restriction is not the answer. In fact, it actually can cause a lot of issues like neurological or hormonal changes when we're eliminating entire food groups or hyper focusing on other ones or depleting calories. Can also create metabolic fluctuations, leading to even more weight gain once the diet is over, where we create that yo-yo effect. And we can even slow our metabolism down to a snail's pace. So it seems like no matter what we try, nothing works, right? If that sounds familiar, then you got to check out TLS. One of the things that really makes us unique is you're seeing out there a lot of talk. Tamara, you know this too, is they're talking about hormones now, and they're talking about, digestive health. And we've been doing this for,
Ever.
over 2 decades we've been doing this. Diets don't address digestive health. They don't address hormonal health, but our program does. And that's really, we're here to talk about digestive health and how it works into our TLS lifestyle and really managing a healthy weight. So Dr. T, take it away.
Yeah, and that is so true, right? We need to look at the big picture, right? We need to individualize and customize. And quite honestly, you're absolutely right, Melanie. All health starts in the gut. My very good friend, Dr. Mason, says the road to health is paved with good intestines, and she's absolutely right. And so we are going to talk about gut health, and we're also going to talk about some metabolic health and some hormones, because as you said, that all plays in a role in having the success and not only maintaining healthy weight, but the long term, right? Keeping it off. And so that's what we're here to chat a little bit more about tonight. And absolutely fantastic fit in with this TLS lifestyle with some amazing new things that we're going to share this evening. But really, did you know, just a couple of little fun facts, talking about gut health, your intestinal microbiome is actually 90% of your gut mass. That's pretty significant, right? And a large part of your immune system lives in that gut as well. The GI tract also houses most of those immune cells. So, we need to have good gut health for good immune health as well. We have about 10 times more bacterial cells and 100 times more genes in our gut biome than we do human cells or genes. We really need to consider that the gut is so important to our overall health because everything is really all connected. And just one more little fun fact, you may just be a vessel for bacteria. We are, right? We are. And we have some healthy bacteria and some that are, little bugs that maybe we don't want there. And part of what we're going to be talking about is, keeping a balance between our body, because the key functions of the gut, obviously, first and foremost, is to help digest our food and, of course, absorb them, right? So there's actually different processes between breaking down and then being able to absorb. We're going to talk a little bit about the intestinal barrier. Things should be able to flow in and out, but there's these junctions that kind of form together. And there are certain things that are small enough and should be able to flow in and out, but it's also that barrier that should be able to protect things that we don't want to go in or out at certain times. So keeping that healthy barrier. I mentioned a large part, almost 70% of our immune system actually lives in that gut. So we really do need to think about one of the key functions of gut health also is really tied to immune health. I mentioned it houses the gut microflora and maintains the nervous system homeostasis. So remains that balance, right? And keeping that balance between the bacteria in our body is super important as well.
Oh, for sure. So it really just connects so many systems in our body, really.
Absolutely. And then we need to also talk about the gut brain, right? I'm sure many of you have heard about that gut brain connection. Many people refer to the gut as the second brain. But it's often called the gut brain axis, and it plays a role in our aging. The gut and the brain kind of work together in a balance to help us regulate things like our sex hormones, our thyroid hormones, stress and adrenal hormones. And Melanie mentioned the hormonal balance before in terms of its relationship with maintaining a healthy weight, and they really are interrelated. Gut function is hormone and mental emotional function. That gut brain health is really a package deal. So we really can't take care of one without taking care of the other. They're really, kind of intertwined in such a way that it really requires taking care of both of them. You have good gut health, you have good brain health, right? They are connected through that axis. There's that vagus nerve that forms that connection. It's sort of the railway between. And so we need to pay attention to both, especially as we age, because we want to age healthy, right?
Yeah, definitely. And our healthy weight and achieving a healthy weight is directly impacted by our digestive health and its role in immunity and hormones. I mean, look at this: sex hormones, thyroid hormones, stress hormones, that all impacts achieving a healthy weight and maintaining one. So we have some great things to talk about here tonight.
Yeah, so excited about these new products that we launched back in August. I think, people were waiting patiently for some of these types of products. And the new product line that we launched, which these two products fall under, is called Access Nutrition. And so this is a new line. We're going to be adding more products here. So I'm going to introduce the first two, and we're really going to talk about their relationship to living that healthy lifestyle and maintaining that healthy weight, because Access Nutrition was really developed to have that exact link between the external environment and our internal health, right? We have some things on the outside that we can't control. We have some things on the inside that we can't control, but we have other things that we can, right? We have a role in our fitness, right? We choose to exercise, don't we? And the type of exercise we do. So we're talking about health, we're talking about fitness, we're talking about metabolic strength, as well as mental flexibility. And the metabolic axis really connects that gut to the brain. It connects from the brain to the thyroid to the adrenals and beyond, because they really are all interconnected, as we said, right? So we're talking about the hormones from the thyroid, the adrenal, the cortisol, right? All of those things really play a role. This is a line that really has an impact on the nervous system, on the immune system. It has an impact on the endocrine system, which plays a huge role for why we're here this evening talking about TLS and the body's microbiome. So we want to kind of incorporate this growing line of products into our health regime, because they're going to help support healthy aging, a healthy stress response, a healthy immune system, your fitness, as well as your overall metabolism. So again, a fantastic new line, really to expand what we have here with us now and really give us that extra support, especially talking about that gut brain axis. So we have two new products in this line, as I mentioned. We have our Access Nutrition Advanced Digestive Support, and we have our Access Nutrition Mental Emotional Balance. And they both support healthy aging. They both support healthy insulin sensitivity, and they really are just a fantastic add into our daily routine. So we're going to talk first about the digestive health support. And this is a product, I'm going to share the ingredients shortly, but it really supports healthy insulin activity and helps maintain healthy blood glucose levels. Isn't that important when we're talking about healthy weight, Melanie? I mean,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole foundation of our program is really about managing the blood glucose levels, because when we do, we become a fat burning machine. We have better mood, we have better energy, we are just doing better in our body and in our mind. And so this is such a great little sidekick for that reason. Those first two, right? Healthy insulin activity. So we want to be sensitive to insulin. And for those of you who are not familiar with all of these hormones and all these body parts we're talking about, don't worry. We're going to get into some simplified stuff as we go, like who's this for and why. And so, but those of you who really love this science stuff, you're going to get that too tonight.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a geek. I can't help it. So yeah, that's a huge role. And so, you know, Melanie, I'm sure many people look at the name where it says advanced digestive support and they think it's purely just a digestive product, but it really goes way beyond just digestion, right? When you look at the support that it has in terms of lipid metabolism and energy. So if you look down this list of benefits, holy cow, right? Of course, it helps support digestive, gut, and GI health. It helps with that intestinal lining. I talked about that barrier, right? We need to make sure that the permeability, how things flow in and out, that barrier is healthy, because that can lead to issues if you don't have that good tight junction. So this is a product that helps support healthy intestinal barrier and the intestinal and colonic permeability, which I think many people are pretty familiar with, right? It supports mucous membrane in the GI tract, obviously helping with that healthy microbiome, keeping a balance of the flora. I mentioned the healthy insulin, supporting healthy insulin activity and healthy blood glucose levels. Also supports healthy lipid metabolism and may support antioxidant activity. So that's a pretty good list of health benefits here. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the ingredients in here. So it gives you a little bit of a picture of what's in this particular product. There's actually 2 ingredients in here. And the first ingredient is berberine. And the benefits of berberine kind of coincide with those overall benefits, as I mentioned before. It's been shown as an ingredient that really stands out from other ingredients out in the market in terms of promoting that healthy insulin activity that I was talking about, supporting healthy lipids, supporting that gut barrier, as well as supporting healthy body biome. So it's one that's touted pretty often in the research for some of these benefits. And that's why this particular ingredient was picked to be added in this product. But that's actually the supporting cast, if you could believe it. The primary ingredient in here is what's known as short chain fatty acids. And fatty acids are really important. And I know a lot of times when people talk about, you know, weight loss and weight management, some individuals think, you know, we shouldn't have fat in our diet, right, Melanie? But we all know that fat's super important. It's just a matter of having some of the right fats. And so, you know, different fats have different lengths in their chains and different amounts of bonds, and that's not really important. But these short ones have a specific function. They actually create metabolic energy in our balance. That's really one of the primary things that they do. They help produce energy. It's like live energy. That's pretty important, don't you think? So that's one of the things that they do. And as a result, you know, we can benefit from that when we're talking about maintaining healthy weight. So we have this metabolic energy, blood glucose metabolism, lipid production, immune, cognitive health, and this crosstalk from the gut to the brain, right? And so we know that fats are important, but we also know, as I said, not all fats are created equal. Some are good and some are not so good. This is one of the good ones. These short chain fatty acids are the good ones. And we have this trademarked ingredient in here called core biome. It's actually a tributylin. There are different kinds of these short chain fatty acids. And one of the things that I often explain, even like with our omega-3s, when we're talking about the difference between omega-3 fatty acids, omega-6s, it's not that omega-6 fatty acids are bad for you. It's just that we have this huge imbalance between the 6s and the 3s. And so we need to up our commitment to consuming more 3s. It's kind of similar here. You'll see in a few minutes as we get to another slide. There's other short chain fatty acids, but this butyrine is actually similar to that of an omega-3, where there's just this imbalance of the ratio. And so we really need to think about supplementing and increasing this particular one, because this is an ingredient, this core biome with this tributylin. It's actually been clinically studied, and it's been shown to be bioavailable down into the large bowel, which is really very difficult for some of these products to get down there.
Yeah, and that's major because not a whole lot of anything is bioavailable in the large bowel.
That
So,
is correct.
yeah.
And sometimes I'll tell people, we have our digestive enzymes, which are absolutely amazing. And I love them and I take them on a consistent basis, but they really work more, upper in the small. They don't really get even those down into the large bowel. But this is a trademarked ingredient that was clinically substantiated because of its bioavailability to actually reach the colon. These short chain fatty acids, we refer to them as a postbiotic, right? So we are very familiar, most of us, with probiotics, right? Many people are familiar with prebiotics, but this is actually what we refer to as a postbiotic. So, I like to say we need a complete biotic. We need the pre, we need the pro, and we need the post. So that kind of completes this picture. So I
Mhm.
mentioned the butyrate is one of those short chain fatty acids. Acetate and propionate are the other two, and they all have benefits, right? The acetate is produced in the gut, helps maintain the pH of the gut and keeps the gut acid low. The propionate assists with production of glucose in the liver, but the butyrate is the one that really provides the energy to the cells in the gut lining, right? And this is the one that keeps the gut cells and the bacteria happy and healthy. We refer to it as kind of like weeding and feeding, right? So it's unfortunate that it's has that difference in the ratio. And so we really need, because they're all good, but we need to increase that commitment to butyrate because that's the one that really provides us with the energy. And that's the one that we don't have enough of in our body. And that's the core biome.
Yeah,
So
I like the weed. I like the idea of weeding and feeding. Like if you think about your lawn, if you have a lawn, and in Florida here, everything grows like it's Jurassic Park, right? And so, and so it's really hard to keep the weeds down. But it's really, really important, or it can just get completely overgrown, and then you just don't have a lawn and you don't have any, control. It just gets out of hand, and that can happen with our gut bacteria. And that's why
absolutely.
it's absolutely so important to be focusing on balancing and keeping that healthy gut bacteria, which obviously a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and just really taking out a lot of that processed foods is going to assist with that. But for a lot of us, who have maybe had, again, years and years of unhealthy diet or just dieting may be struggling with that gut biome. And this is where, we really say that this product is for people who are seeking to support digestive and gastrointestinal health and really looking to maybe solve some of those problems. You're struggling with balancing that bacterial flora. You may have overgrowth of bacteria you're not wanting to have overgrowth of. You're looking to promote insulin sensitivity. Even just as we get older, we become less sensitive to insulin as we age, just how we, all these things happen as we age, don't they, Dr. Genius? We got less HGH, we've got less collagen, we've got, all of these things.
I always say the things we want to rise as we age, unfortunately, falls, and the things we want
Yes.
to fall, unfortunately, rise. Right? It's that inverse relationship. We got to fix that.
Yeah, well, and that's what prevention is all about. That's what we're all about in TLS. And so we definitely want to promote insulin sensitivity because that is going to keep us healthy and happy. Obviously, people interested in that gut brain connection and really keeping that axis nice and healthy. That's really about, for me, that's really about like true vitality.
Mhm.
So busy professionals, parents, athletes, anyone who's looking for ways to, promote healthy habits. And I really feel like, there's the demographic for this particular product is really just anyone. There's no particular age, but I do feel like that it's great for, in particular, aging women. I feel like it's really great for people who have maybe issues with
Digestion.
digestion, but like an unhealthy relationship with food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh, those people that tend to overeat or have had those long-term digestive complaints, right? That are kind of lingering, often have that like foggy brain because that's that gut brain connection. Those are definitely those individuals that would benefit from this product. People who are struggling with their weight loss goals, with their metabolic goals, this is that product that can give you that extra support.
Yeah, it might be the extra edge, especially if you've been following TLS for a little bit, you're getting some good progress. Sometimes if you feel like you're hitting a plateau or progress is slowing, can be one of these types of things that come into play, where, what do I need to do to support my body in releasing that excess weight? And sometimes that has to do with our digestion. We already have such amazing digestive health products, most of which I'm on daily, with like our daily greens. I take that every day. I do 2 scoops a day. I love it, love it, love it. Our NutriClean fiber powder, have that every day in my trim cafe. And I take 2 of our probiotic every morning. I struggled with digestive health and I would not be without these products. So like Tamara said, what we have here is within our NutriClean fiber powder is our prebiotic. Then we have our probiotic and the probiotics 10 or the NutriClean line, either one. They're both wonderful and the same. And then Axis is the postbiotic. So this Axis product doesn't actually replace any of our other digestive products. It completes our line.
Right.
And that's what's really special about it. So any product, if you're taking thyroid medication, should be taken 4 hours away from your thyroid medication. So that's true for everything. So again, I just want to say this advanced digestive support complements our existing, because again, we're looking at this prebiotic formula in our NutriClean, where the inulin in it is acting like that prebiotic, which is really creating the environment or creating the house that the good bacteria are going to flourish in. So you're sort of setting the environment up, right? Like it's like when you're nesting or when you're getting prepared for guests to come over, right? you're setting the stage. And so that's what a prebiotic does. Plus you're getting that 10 grams of fiber, and oh my God, I love this fiber.
Which we all need.
Oh my gosh. Everybody needs more fiber. Everybody needs more fiber. Nobody's getting enough. Then you're going with that probiotic, where you're getting 10 different strains of important probiotics, that this is the actual bacteria. So this is us putting the bacteria in the house. All right. The guests are over for dinner and we want them to flourish. We want them to have a good time. We want them to proliferate, but you put them in the right.
Feed them.
Yeah, now exactly. So this amazing product does not have to be refrigerated. With its live back BioTrack technology and time release technology to ensure that it gets into the right place for those bacteria to survive and flourish. And then again, we go into the postbiotic with that short chain fatty acid, and really promoting that good balance of good and bad bacteria. So we hope that helps you guys understand what role that particular product plays. So let's talk a little bit about this next one.
Yeah, I was so excited when this product came out. I have to tell you, I have worked with a lot of patients in my practice that were referred to me, a lot of teenagers especially, that really just needed a little bit of extra support, right? And this was a product that came to market that, like I said, I was so excited because I think there's such a need for it. We all live a stressful life, don't we? I know some people have been under a little more stress than others lately. Sorry, Mel. I know you've been through a lot.
Everyone. I feel like everyone's going through stuff right now.
Everyone too. But this was the first product that we really have that we can actually help promote for the teenage population. And so I was really happy to see that this was a product that was created to help support peace of mind for really anyone 12 years of age or older. And there were some fantastic studies that were done on these young teenagers that, and I will talk about the ingredients in a minute, but that it really helped to support their assurance, their disposition, their confidence, right? Because we know how hard it is to be a teenager, don't we? It's very stressful. And between, the academic stresses, the social stresses, it just really can take a toll. And so this product is definitely one you should think about, for anybody under any stress. But I do want to highlight that it is very appropriate for those teenagers as well, because not many of our other products in our line, right, Melanie, are geared except for our children's line of the DNA Miracles. So
yes, I agree. I think it's harder today being a kid than it ever has been, for different reasons, than the challenges maybe my generation had or other generations prior to me. I feel like it's also really difficult to be a parent in today's climate. So I feel like both parties could benefit.
I take it and I give it to all 4 of my children. And no, I am 100% serious. When we launched this product, I actually did buy it for my whole family. And I do have 4 kids, and 3 of the 4 of them actually have been taking it. One of them, just has been on the run and hasn't really been very consistent with it. But my whole family is on both of these Access Nutrition products because they just have such amazing benefits.
Yeah, let's talk about
so you can benefits. Yeah, you can see here, this is a product that promotes emotional wellness in stressful situations, promotes mental focus and clarity, especially in those times of stress, supports mental and emotional equilibrium, a healthy disposition. Sometimes those teenagers could be a little difficult. So having them have a healthier disposition helps us parents have a healthier disposition. This is a product that supports normal levels of serotonin. Serotonin, as most of you know, is our happy feel-good hormone. And that's actually produced in the gut. Most of serotonin is actually produced in the gut. It needs to cross up to the blood-brain barrier so that we get the benefits of that. So when we're talking about hormones and things like that, in terms of our healthy weight management system, serotonin definitely plays a huge role here. This is a product that helps support calmness and that feeling of assurance, neurologic function, a healthy nervous system. This is a product that helps support healthy sleep. And I know you know this, Melanie. I'm sure many of our TLS fans know this, but having a good night's sleep is so important on having healthy weight, because when we're not sleeping, those hormones, our leptin and our ghrelin, get out of whack, right? And so our leptin goes down, our ghrelin goes up, and we start to feel more hungry and maybe crave things that maybe we shouldn't be eating. So getting a good night's sleep is so important for so many things, but definitely for those hormones as well. Helps maintain a feeling of ease and helps maintain normal learning and memory function. And I think that's a big complaint, especially with a lot of the teenagers that are under so much stress. They have a hard time with their learning and their memory. So again, this is a product for anyone age 12 or older, anybody that may have experience in fluctuations in their hormones. We're going to talk a little bit more about that and some of the neurotransmitter, some which are like our hormones that help keep us in balance. Anyone that's looking for extra support for mental focus and clarity, healthy sleep duration, emotional wellness. Now, do you know anyone who would benefit from this, right? And of course, that gut-brain connection. And it does come back to that connection. It's so important because it does have that overflow to that whole entire body. So maintaining that healthy balance of neurotransmitters in the brain, but often that are grown or created in our gut, right, is really important. So teens and adults both could benefit from, just dealing with the everyday chaos that we have.
For sure. And to kind of bring this back to this TLS lifestyle, oftentimes when our life gets disrupted or we're in times of stress or chaos, or we just feel overwhelmed, it's easy to, let go of those healthy habits. It's easy to stop going to the gym or stop meal prepping and things like that. This is where we may not be able to get rid of the stressors. Like there was no getting rid of Hurricane Ian, right? Like there's no not dealing with what I had to deal with, or, husbands or kids or stress at jobs. I mean, we always have stressors that we can't necessarily get rid of. The point is that we're helping our body manage that stress so that we are more equipped to, still take care of ourselves, to still have that feeling of wellness and, assurance. Like we've been using that word where it's just like, I can handle this, I can tackle the day, I can meal prep, I can, even amongst what's going on. So I think that is, where a product like this comes really in handy and in play for TLS.
Absolutely. And I always say, you can't necessarily get rid of the stress or change the stress, but if you can change the way you perceive it, if the change is the way you respond to it, that can make a huge difference. And, that's kind of what we're talking about here. So I mentioned, those neurotransmitters and keeping a healthy balance of those neurotransmitters. Stress, hormones, and other factors really can impact your overall health. It can affect the levels of neurotransmitters that are within the brain. So maintaining your healthy balance of those neurotransmitters really helps you to regulate your mood. It helps you to regulate your attention. It affects your sleep. So getting a good night's sleep, supporting your nervous system, and again, mental focus, and especially when you're in times of stress. And so we have our neurotransmitters like serotonin that I mentioned before, and dopamine, which are kind of very similar. Dopamine's kind of referred to as your pleasure center, right? Serotonin, your happy hormone. But they produce positive emotions, and that's what we want. We want to be able to create more of those hormones. They really work together to keep the body within a chemical balance. And so having low levels of dopamine can actually result in that lack of motivation, as Melanie was talking about. Maybe you don't feel like going to the gym today, or you don't feel like, doing your meal prep because you don't have that motivation. And it also affects your ability to concentrate and maintaining that healthy mood. So we want to make sure we're supporting the serotonin and the dopamine in the body. Those are just two of the neurotransmitters. We're going to talk about GABA as well, which is another neurotransmitter. And this mental emotional balance, this product actually works synergistically to support the healthy nervous system, especially in those times of stress, because we have these particular ingredients. And GABA, or GABA aminobutyric acid, is one of the actual ingredients in this particular product. So we're going to talk a little bit more about GABA in a minute. There's also saffron in here, and saffron extract, and magnesium. And saffron extract is it's a spice. Saffron's a spice. It actually comes from the crocus plant. For those of you that are not quite familiar where it comes from, but saffron actually contains antioxidant properties. So it helps with oxidative stress on the body by fighting those free radicals. And it's been correlated to help maintain normal learning, memory, and support of neurologic health. That's the ingredient that's been studied specifically in those younger teenagers. It's been shown to support healthy production and release of dopamine, which, as I said, is that pleasure neurotransmitter. Glutamate, which is a neurotransmitter associated with memory, also has an important role in the gut, right? All of these things, again, we're talking about gut and brain, right? And that's glutamate is another one. Supports emotional health, calmness, and helps support that feeling of assurance. Now, there were studies done, as I said before, and they did this research on these teenagers, and they showed that 30 milligrams of saffron with its active compounds is really what was shown to be effective to support healthy neurotransmitter levels, healthy serotonin levels, maintain that balance. And of course, that's what we have in here, right? Because Melanie, as you know, our products are formulated based on the research and the science. So if it says we need 30 milligrams of saffron, we have 30 milligrams of saffron in there. And these studies were done that showed that changes in hormones in our teenage years, as well as later in life really had an impact from the saffron on our mental emotional health, on our memory, and on that perception. As I said before, we can't change the stressors necessarily, but changing the way we perceive them by helping with that emotional wellness, helping deal with it when we're in those stressful situations, giving us that feeling of ease. That's really what we're talking about here. And these are really the things that, I often think of as more of the chronic issues, right? It's not like, you obviously a horrible storm, you're in the midst of that, and there's a start time and an end time for it. But, for this particular product, I think of it more as, the people that are under, whether it's a teenager or adult, under this chronic stress on a regular basis, helping to manage that kind of thing. So again, super beneficial in our teenage years. Now, I mentioned GABA is in here. GABA is produced in the brain and in the body. As I said, many of them are in the gut, crossed up to the brain. It's one of the main neurotransmitters that we think of for relaxation, for that feeling of calm, right? That emotional balance and that sense of calm, which helps improve our quality of sleep. It's been studied for its role in healthy mood and maintaining that emotional wellness. And so having adequate GABA levels is really super important to healthy strategies for relaxation, for learning, and for memory. So again, just another added benefit. And the last ingredient in here after GABA is magnesium. But GABA, I do want to mention, because we were talking about hormones before, right? And, women especially, right? We have to pay attention to those hormones. And depending on where we are in our cycles, our levels of estrogen and progesterone change. And that, can affect weight, maintaining a healthy weight as well. One of the things with GABA is as the progesterone levels, when they're high, they're actually associated with greater GABA activity. And when they're low, depending on the time in your cycle, women actually have lower levels of GABA. So by adding this in as a supplementation, that can help maintain. And just a little side note, women that have or are looking for extra support of healthy progesterone levels, thinking about taking some of those micronutrients for extra support, like the B vitamins and the magnesium, and some of those really can help make a difference. But because the GABA cycles with the progesterone, it's one of those things that a lot of women, I think, can really benefit from in terms of supplementation. And then that third ingredient is the magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that many people need to think about supplementing because many people are deficient. It's found in the body and it has so many benefits. It's responsible for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. The bisglycinate is actually the form that we have here, and it could be in different forms. It could be magnesium citrate, magnesium glycinate, but the glycinate specifically has been shown to be the most prevalent in the body and the most is easily absorbed by the body with increased bioavailability and solubility. But it also has that focus on the brain, Melanie, and on brain health and on emotional well-being. And that's why it's this particular form of magnesium that was picked for this particular product to go with the GABA and to go with the saffron.
Yeah, and magnesium is, it's, I think it's the third most prevalent mineral in the body, if I remember correctly. So it's
the third or fourth most prevalent.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the third. It's pretty important, guys. But it has a lot. Magnesium has a lot of roles in regards to just our health and what's going on in the body. Magnesium what relaxes muscles, whereas calcium is what contracts muscles. So when we're talking about from a fitness standpoint, if we're really working out really hard, magnesium is really good for relaxing the muscle. And so these types of things are all just like side benefits of increasing magnesium supplementation for sure.
Absolutely. And magnesium actually helps naturally support healthy GABA levels as well. They work together with that calm alertness, right? We want to be relaxed and calm, but we also want to be alert, right? We want to support our memory and so forth, but we also want to support sleep quality. And magnesium is one of those things that's been shown to help support healthy sleep quality. And as Melanie just mentioned, that relaxed muscle as well as nerves, which is really important for exercise, but also for some individuals to get a healthy night's sleep, right? They need their muscles to sort of relax while they sleep at night.
Or a healthy bowel movement.
That too, absolutely. And that's very true. Magnesium actually has some laxative effects to it. The glycinate form, by the way, tends to be a little easier on the GI system, but magnesium is one of those things that we can, when you're talking about how much, some healthcare providers will use magnesium to what we refer to as bowel tolerance, right? Because once it sends you to the bathroom, that's when you could back off a little, unless you need that, in which case that's great.
And then you're like, thank you.
A lot of people need it, right? Many people are constipated.
Yes. So, there is, some things to talk about with this product. If you do take it and you do have some slight nausea or diarrhea or stomach upset, just, scale back, that kind of thing. Individuals who are pregnant, breastfeeding, just definitely always check any kind of supplement past your healthcare provider. Taking a supplement containing GABA, because it is a neurotransmitter, may have interactions with other blood pressure, antidepressant, or sleep medications. So again, running by your pharmacist or your health provider would be very important. Now, we do have other calming products, right? That's the one thing about our company. So we do have Bliss and we have Axe. We also have Cannabiquin, but Bliss and Axe specifically have, in many cases, some of the very same benefits, but a completely different formula. And so Bliss is what I call your first, like give it a go, right? Like you're thinking, hey, like let's try this, try something to help me with my stress. Bliss is sort of our entry level, I call it. And if that doesn't really do anything for you, you got to upgrade to Axe because it's the stronger version. It's the proprietary, the ashwagandha is full strength, it's the Mac Daddy. And so a lot of people are getting a lot of great and similar benefits with our TLS Axe. Now, if you're feeling like you could use a little extra support, you can, you're taking Axe and you're loving it. And you're taking it at night because maybe you're taking your thermochrome in the morning, mental emotional balance might be something that you can integrate, as well, if you're feeling like you need a little extra support. But I want you to think about it this way: it's completely different ingredients tackling the problem in a completely different way, right? So Axe and Bliss are more adaptogenic herbs, whereas Axis, the mental emotional balance formula, is tackling the problem from a neurotransmitter standpoint. And so in some cases, it's a tactical advantage to have, multiple points of attack on one particular problem.
Because all the stresses come from different places, right? We're bombarded from different directions. And so when we have those stresses coming at us like that, that's something that we really can benefit from the Bliss and the Axe. And as I said, the Axis, I feel like, is a little bit more of those chronic, longer standing. And so they pair so well together because, as what you just said, Melanie, they're coming from different points of helping.
Tactical advantage there with the two. I do feel like, it's really for people who feel like that stress and that overwhelm, and those feelings of that are just holding us back from really embracing, living the TLS lifestyle and continuing it through, tougher times, or just chronic stress is an issue. This is where that might be that edge you need, right? Versus where we were talking earlier tonight about the digestive health, and it, for other people, it's like, oh no, it's my digestion, like that's where I need extra support that's going to take me to that next level of health and vitality and healthy weight that I'm, looking to achieve. So
Mhm.
you really know you best, in the sense of like, what is your greatest struggle and what is going to help you, like if you think about it, right? Like what is the number one reason you feel, you're not at your healthiest, or you're at your healthiest weight, or you're not feeling 100%? Is it the stress and the overwhelm and the emotions, or is it digestion, or hormones or things like that? So we wanted to come to you tonight and give you just a little insight into what could be that tactical advantage,
Mhm.
truly, because our bodies rely on effective communication between the nervous system. Well, the nervous system is really the communication system, communicating with our endocrine system, which is our hormonal system, right? Everything from our pituitary down to our, I'm going to get it in, Dr. D, gonads. And
Be proud.
she would be proud. Our immune system, our digestive system, and that gut, right? The microbiome in the gut. And so this is what these two products really bring to the table, is helping the body communicate, where we're really aligning things, from that standpoint. And so again, these products focus on the interconnectivity of all the systems working together in harmony to support healthy aging, which we all want, healthy stress response, healthy immune system, great fitness levels, and overall healthy metabolism. So our bodies are miracles. They have an elegant design. They're completely connected, and they are designed to balance themselves, heal themselves. Like our body wants to operate it optimally. That's what it's designed to do. And so when we take care of it by providing it the right tools through nutrition, proper exercise, proper hydration, and excellent supplementation like we have, we're really going to feel better than we ever have. And that's what TLS is all about, for sure. So we really do feel like these products bring that extra edge for those of you who are looking to really support those systems that we talked about. So I really appreciate Tamara, you being on here with me tonight
Sure.
and sharing all your knowledge. I loved all your metaphors tonight, and yeah, it was just a fantastic. I learned some new things, even though I've been trained on these products. I learned some new things tonight, so I always super appreciate that.
I learn new things every day. Isn't it all about education, which is absolutely why I love TLS, because it has the education in there. Melanie, I happened to notice there was a question in the chat, or actually in the Q&A rather. Somebody had asked about time to take these products. The advanced digestive support product, you really could, you got it there. I left mine in the other room. You really could take it with or without food. It's really whatever your personal preference is, but it does have those fatty acids in it. So sometimes people will like to pair it up with food. And it doesn't really necessarily make a huge difference what time of day you take it. Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
I think the color is so
I
beautiful.
love
So
the color. And can you have, don't you notice the little taste in there too?
yeah, I take mine in the morning, mainly, because of the short chain fatty acids. You can take it with food, you can
Mhm.
take it without, but I do take it with my curcumin and my cognitin, and I just down the hatch.
And
Um,
I'm actually the opposite on that, Mel. I like taking mine in the evening. I'm really great with my isotonics in the morning. I'm not as good with my pills, but yeah, and Axe too. I do my Axe. I do my
Speaking of
curcumin.
taking my axe at night, that's exactly what I'm about to do.
I take them all together at night. And so, that works fine for me. So it's personal preference. Now the saffron, it's a spice. And so for some individuals, they might prefer to take it with food because it might be better for their particular stomachs having that spice with food. But again, it really doesn't make a difference. It's really your personal preference. Just again, because it's a spice, sometimes it's recommended with food. But for me, I have to take it when I can remember. And the best time I can remember to take those pills is mostly at night, unless I'm doing my core and I'm doing my thermochrome. Obviously I'm setting my phone so that I can remember to take it, and time the core with my meals. But the rest of them, well, I'm not taking thermochrome at night, but the rest of them
I
I
was
tend to
gonna
take.
say, I hope you're not taking thermochrome at
Not
night.
taking that one at night, but the rest of them, I tend to keep them
Yeah.
on my nightstand with my bottle of water. And I climb into bed. I'm like, I got to take all of these because I forgot to take them during the day, because I just do. I get busy and I take them when I can remember. So
Yeah,
that's
and
what
you really
works.
got to find a system that works for you, especially if you are on a few of our products, that many of them can be taken together or in conjunction with our lifestyles. So it's always best to follow directions on the bottle. That is usually best practice. And so I find that, what's most important to me is my morning routine. And that's where I set up everything. I have like my little canisters so that I can take my pills throughout the day. And so I get all like situated first thing in the morning, head to the gym. I take my thermochrome before I go to the gym. That's my, aside from my isotonics and my greens, because I take those, then I take my thermochrome, then I go to the gym, then I come back. Now I'm having my shake and my trim cafe and my collagen and my, so you just got to figure it out.
Yeah, you
What
do.
works best for you? Because we're all, on our own health journey. So follow directions and find what works best for you in your routine. And you're gonna soon just be really happy you did. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate it. We hope you learned a lot. Definitely, if you haven't tried out one of these products or both of them, give them a go, see what kind of benefit they provide for you. So with that said, everyone have a fabulous night. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Tamara.
Thank you.